Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. However, I may not be worthy to lift Mjolnir, but I can definitely hold my beer. Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Hierogeekics, the show for deciphering all things geeks. I am your host, Dorko Manhattan, and joining me is
Brooklyn Boy T, here to talk comics.
And Sebastian Bonet, a.k.a. member of the Artist Club.
And you know me, your favorite host with the most. I'm not hosting today. Mayhem Mike. We got our special guest, Sebastian. Sebastian, how you feeling today?
I am feeling funky.
You feeling funky?
Funky.
You smell funky. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get you a power ring for that.
There you are.
Nonetheless, Dorko, what are we doing today? What's going on?
Oh my god, there's a lot to cover, but today we're going to be covering Thor and Hulk, their origins and how they compare from comics to screen. We're also going to talk about Justice League, do some Comic Fever, Aquaman, since it is San Diego Comic-Con time, and I think it's next week, and also Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Star Wars.
Ooh.
Last
I can't
Jedi.
wait.
The
Force is
is
strong.
not with this one.
Woo!
I guess,
Force
right?
is not strong with this one at all.
The Force is strong on Taco Tuesdays.
There you go.
Speaking of which, I'm ready for a taco. Are you ready for a taco? What if we had a taco named after Thor? Ragnar Taco.
There you
Hey.
What kind of sauce would it come with?
Well, we know the Hulk taco will be guacamole.
I hate you because I hate guacamole on my taco. Let's not talk about that.
So we go with the green sauce.
We'll go with the green sauce.
That's it.
But let's talk about Thor, man. I mean, the first 2 movies, he was clickbait.
They couldn't find his footing.
No, he was clickbait. He was
Yo,
nothing but these abs that weren't really there.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? The long hair. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I am Thor. Listen to me. And other girls were like, oh. And guys were like, all right, do a flip. Do something. You know, like.
A.K.a. Shakespeare in the Park.
Oh.
The YouTube videos that have for the little screen picture for the video where it's someone like holding their yays, and then all of a sudden you click it, it's like, wait, this is not what I clicked for.
Thou mother know you weareth her drapes.
And it's just like. All right, let's go to the first Thor.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Let's talk. What's going on with that?
Well, for starters, let's give our viewers a brief history on the character of Thor.
Okay.
For those that may not know, Thor is actually inspiration from Norse mythology. That's where Marvel gets their character. Thor made his debut in Journey into Mystery, August '62, and then created by the man Stan Lee. Along with Larry Lieber and I believe Jack Kirby, if any of you guys want to correct me.
Well, when it comes to him and Jack Kirby, there's a lot of possibly I was here, a lot of legal. Let's not get into that. That's a lot of legal drinking we can't afford. But go ahead, that beer though.
Yes, the beer, which I'm all out of, by the way. However, okay, going back to Thor. Mm-hmm. So, he is a character which a lot of people are most familiar with, Norse mythology. Now, for some of you who are just getting into Norse mythology, forgive me, you might have gotten a taste of that from playing the recent God of War game with Kratos. For those of you who have been following since, 15 years ago.
Whew.
PS2. Right?
Yeah.
The first God of War, we had our character Kratos go through Greek mythology, and now with this latest one, number 4, he's going through Norse mythology, and now we're all looking forward to see if his battle with Thor, I don't mean to give any spoilers, but if you haven't played the game, well, sucks to be you.
Do you think he's ever going to tackle Scientology?
That's Tom Cruise's department.
Listen, that's a battle no God can win. See what I did there? Okay.
Boom, 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 bing.
So, with Thor came on the scene in the first Marvel movie, and to say the least, it was lackluster. I mean, did anybody like this movie?
It was rushed.
It was entertaining, I think. In my opinion, I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was a decent intro to the character, and plus it was directed by Kenneth Branagh, one of my all-time great actors. Mm-hmm. Talk about Shakespearean. I mean, come on.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm sorry. I did like the first Thor just because it showed an arc. Typical arc for Marvel characters. He goes from one side of, being a jerk and goes through the transformation to learn.
Big ego.
Becomes humble, and he becomes the Thor that we know towards the end of
He was he was just like a brute. He was just a brute that just wanted to head into battle. He did not he did not have the wisdom of Odin.
Correct.
Like when Odin's trying to teach him, like a good king, does not seek war, but he's always prepared for it.
Okay.
Great line.
Who was the victim? Who was the villain in Thor? In the first one?
Loki.
Loki.
Loki was the first villain.
Oh no, because the movie sucked so much, I just zoned out. I'm sorry, I
Loki
phased out. I
and-
didn't want to. Sorry,
Well, I'm still trying to forget. The only thing about the first Thor movie is I'm trying to forget the fact that they bleached his eyebrows, bro.
Oh wow!
Did
Bleach brows.
Does thou carpet matcheth the drapes?
You can check that and you let me know. No, for me, the first Thor movie, when you look at the Marvel phases, it served what it was supposed to. It's an origin movie.
Okay.
But you could tell it was rushed because they wanted to have Thor ready for Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Thor was just, the first movie was just rushed, but it did what it had to do. It told the story of Thor. It could have been a straight-to-TV movie from the way I felt it.
Incredible Hulk Returns, 1987.
that's a deep cut.
He got you. What are you gonna say to that?
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, no.
But that was the first live-action Thor.
That
came on
was
screen.
the first live-action Thor. But yeah, so was the we can go back to that old Captain America with the motorcycle helmet.
Oh, we
but we're not
went to
going
the old
touch that.
Spider-Man where he just went like this, and then the thing just threw a net.
Climbing the wall in slow motion, like, huh?
Yep.
Climbing the wall, climbing the floor.
You're
There you go. You're right.
Camera tricks.
You know,
People.
it's funny because I forgot the movie now, but it's a famous breaking scene where the guy's like breaking in his room and he goes throughout the whole house. And the way they did it was they had the whole platform move, like his whole scene in the room. They actually had that whole room tilt. That's how he was breaking on it.
that's awesome.
You think they could have done that for Spider-Man? You think they could have entertained us just this one time? No? All right, cool.
No, we got the no. But yeah, it was I feel Thor was a rush movie, the first one.
I mean, it was. I mean, you said earlier it was. It served its purpose. It was an intro movie. It was rushed for the Avengers. I mean, you can clearly tell. Like even after the first Thor, they rushed through. Especially the Warriors 3. I mean, I was really I'm not big on Marvel. I'm a DC fanboy, but I am familiar with some Marvel, and I am a fan of the Warriors 3, and I was looking forward to see what they would do with those characters, but their only big screen badassery was the first one. And then the second one, nothing. And then the third, don't even get me started.
No, you hate that. I know that's killing you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for the Warrior, I think it was only in the intro scene of Thor 2, that battle on that planet.
Mm-hmm.
And then they was killed off in 2 seconds in Thor 3.
All right, well, let's talk about Thor 2. I mean, who was the villain in this one? Was it the guy with the gazer beam?
The Keebler elf.
That's right, gazer beam. I said it from Incredibles.
You mean
gazer beam?
You mean the Ninth Doctor, right? Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah. Oh,
The Keebler elf. That's what it was. It was the Keebler elf.
But there was no cookies there.
There was no. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happens when you take the Keebler elf's cookies and eat them all.
They came out of the trees, man. All right, so it was just I don't know, man. They tried to establish more of a romantic relationship with Jane, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Lady Jane.
Whatever. And it's just he seems to have grown a little bit in understanding his purpose. Not necessarily his power, but his purpose. He is getting a grasp on his power, but you can still kind of see he's not as advanced as we've come to know him in the comics.
Correct.
Jane is obviously his weakness, and it seems like he.
Or his strength, depending on how you look at it.
Loki stole the show for that movie. Let's
Yeah.
be real. It was the Loki show.
I'll just say this: the reoccurring theme is he is constantly challenging himself to be worthy for this hammer. Why, bruh? But go ahead.
I mean, the hammer isn't necessarily the source of his power. I mean, they even, even Odin, stated that in Ragnarok.
Yes.
He was like, "Are you Thor, god of hammers? You're the god of thunder."
Right.
So the hammer is basically channels his power.
But I do think that from Thor's perspective, the hammer meant more than just. It was more than just a weapon. You saw how he lost when he lost it in Ragnarok.
You had a hammer.
His devastation that he went through in Ragnarok, and then going back to Age of Ultron, everybody's trying to pick up the hammer. It was kind of like a showpiece at that point, and then eventually.
Oh, when his heart dropped? When his heart dropped for 2 seconds? He was like, huh?
Captain America is worthy.
Yes, he is. I
Well,
believe
that
he
was
is.
in the comics. Literally, in the comics, Captain America did pick up the hammer.
Yeah.
But
I think we will see that in.
And also Hulk,
Avengers
but
4.
just a pure force.
I'm the only thing about lifting Mjolnir is like I'm still disappointed at the fact that they didn't give that privilege to Beta Ray Bill. I love Beta Ray Bill.
He's
as a
coming.
character.
He's probably coming.
I'm
He's probably
waiting for him,
coming. He's
man.
there.
Even with Adventures, and again, spoiler alert: if you didn't see it, well, sucks to be you. Stormbreaker is Thor's new hammer in Infinity War, and plus the toys fucking leaked it anyway, you know. So here I am thinking like, oh my god, what can Thor's new hammer be? What can his new weapon be? Lo and behold, I go to Toys R Us, you know. I go to Toys R Us.
I'm about to say rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
now sad being a kid.
Yeah, you know, I go to Toys R Us, and there I see Thor, like, you know, the action figure, and who do I see next to the damn figure? Stormbreaker. Oh, man. So that spoiled it for me, but still, watching it on screen was like a hell of a big deal. But I still think that they should have reserved that for Beta Ray Bill. At least, you know, lifting Mjolnir, you know? Like,
No, I get what you're saying with that, because I think they went more with the Ultimate route for Ultimate Comics, because in that one, Stormbreaker was kind of his hammer.
Yeah.
So, but they already, like, in the third, I mean, we haven't got to the third movie, but they teased Beta Ray Bill in that one.
In that building where they're, like, constructing, like, all their faces, I guess, of all the champions that have gone there, whatever. But overall, I mean, I was reading somewhere online that they wanted, instead of Hulk, they wanted to use Beta Ray Bill. You know, but I think it was Kevin Feige or someone, you know, like backstage thought, you know, like, if we're gonna do Beta Ray Bill, we're gonna do him proper, you know, like, you know, let's leave him for a later film.
And there's a long story too with the Hulk,
Fans
but it is.
love Beta Ray Bill. Like, don't mess with him.
But there's also a long story with the Hulk, because, you know, Marvel doesn't own his solo movie rights.
No, that's Universal.
So yeah. So what they're doing is that
We're gonna get to that. Ooh.
Hulk actually has a trilogy that they're doing, where Thor Ragnarok is the first part of that trilogy. Then you have Avengers Infinity War. That's the second part. The third part of Hulk's trilogy will be the next Avengers movie.
Yep.
Really?
If you piece it all together, he's evolving each movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna talk about that. Do we want to go over Thor in the first Avengers movie and how he's grown or not grown? My favorite part of that movie is when he's literally dropping to the ground in the Hulk's cage, and homie's just like, I need the hammer. No, I need the hammer. I need that. And then he, like, flips it and comes out. And I was like, oh, that's dope. Then he goes through the field, and he's like, am I worthy? Yo, Thor could be, like, a great, like, cologne or, like, really great, like, scent commercial character. And he's like, are you worthy? Mjolnir for men. And you see him, like, in the field. Mjolnir for men.
Just toss the bottle in the background.
Oh God, it's the shape of a hammer.
Whoever holds
If you're an
this
unworthy, it doesn't open.
Nope. But I think with the first Avengers movie, I think he realizes that he has a bigger purpose. It's not just like protecting Asgard anymore. It's protecting the other realms, you know, especially the one realm where his lady interest resides in.
Correct. Which is why he came back to Earth for the second time.
Yeah.
I think the Avengers and the second one is a great growth for Thor, as far as like he's kind of learning what family is, because you kind of see him kind of like attached to Loki a little bit more as his brother. He's like really trying to save him, like, you know, like, brother, this is us. You know, I got you. Like, yeah, you were adopted and you're still my brother. Whereas in the first movie, he's like half brother Loki. You know, like he's adopted. You know, he's adopted.
Yeah.
But
That's
like,
because he was a
growing
jerk. He was a jerk in the first movie. It was all about him, and it was, you know, he was very selfish in the first movie.
Agreed. All right. Man. Do you want to talk about the awesomeness that is Thor Ragnarok in detail? Because
I was already hooked from the trailer. Like once, like I kind of got the tone, and I was just like, I am gonna love this freaking movie. Like, I mean, I knew. I mean, I was already familiar with the director's work. What's his name?
Taika
You know,
Waititi.
have you seen that vampire movie? Whatever You Do in the Shadows, or
yes?
No, I didn't get to see that. I missed it. I got to see it now.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Check it out if you have the time. But overall, even from the trailers, regardless if you know, even if there was like some kind of leak footage that came out or whatever, I already was aware of the tone of the movie, and I knew that it was definitely a big step from the Dark World.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, I think he found, and Chris Hemsworth too, working with Chris Hemsworth and all that, they found the tone for Thor in that movie. Like I said, each Thor movie, like The first one was rushed. The second one was just it's too dark, man. He could have been a DC character.
Whoa.
Shots fired.
Whoa.
But he agreed, though.
Yes, he did. We got it on tape. Played it back.
Yeah.
But no, it's like this. They really found his footing, and the whole reunion of Loki and Thor. It took their badass sister Hela, because we gotta talk how she came in like stone cold, opened a can of whoop, don't shut your mouth, and just like handed it. They kind of reunited. They had a common enemy, and then it was that brotherly bond and that relationship again. You see that relationship grow in the movies.
T, is thou mother's nameth Martha?
I was just thinking that, man.
No. So, like, yet again, Thor's coming together with his brother Loki, right? First of all, shout out to Hela. The character was badass. Ragnarok was badass. They definitely mixed Planet Hulk, well, at least the beginning of
There's
Planet
a lot
Hulk.
of references
Yeah.
to Hulk in there, yeah.
Which
It's that
I'm
again.
looking
It's
forward
that
to
trilogy.
them doing that, but obviously we still need the Illuminati. We need Fantastic Four. I'm looking for the Hulk coming back, the Sentry.
Make it happen. Take my money.
I'm random. I'm also looking forward for the Hulk lifting up a mountain in the Infinity War. Hopefully, it's an old reference. I hope they do it. Will they do it? We'll see what happens.
Well, the leak footage shows that it might be the Smart Hulk.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The leak, not footage, pictures.
Hulk
Dr.
or
Hulk.
Mr. Hulk, whatever his name is.
Because Hulk took those he got 2-piece by Thanos, and that was it.
Oh no, 2-piece and a biscuit, sir. You give that man his
With
credit.
fries with that.
With fries with that shake. So Hela came in, she dominated. She was a great character. I didn't see it coming. I'll be real with you. I didn't see it coming. She owned it and she did her thing. Blinding Thor in one eye, destroying his hammer. I'm sorry, that just like took all his god manhood away.
Yep.
Like once she destroyed it in his face, he was like, "You got much to learn." It was like, what? He was still in disbelief.
You will leave this place now. Leave this realm and don't come back.
The interesting theory is that they said that if they didn't take out Hela,
I'm sorry, Lion King, you better not come back. We'll kill ya.
There you go.
Okay.
the interesting theory is that if they didn't take out Hela, what would have happened if Hela and Thanos fought?
Oh yes.
Yeah, that would have been great actually. That would
I
have
don't
been
think
great.
Thanos would have been able to beat her.
I don't think Thanos would have done it by himself. Remember, he does have his order.
Did you not see her take out an army?
No.
But that's what I'm saying. But like, I think Thanos would have stood by the sidelines to see what she's made of first. Observation.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's a tactical
Yeah,
guy. That's
you
why
know?
I did a picture of Thanos versus Dragon Ball. People get mad at it because he's beating up the Dragon Ball characters, but he goes back. He's tactical. Yeah, he probably would have thought of something, but
And you definitely saw that in Infinity War, yo.
So,
Definitely.
we're gonna talk about that. I just want to go back to Hela. Hela was more powerful in that realm, if I'm not mistaken. And
they had to call Suitor to take her out.
right. And then on top of that, didn't Thanos have 2 gems already?
Yeah.
To
At that
start.
point, yeah.
Just to
At
start.
that point.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that would have been an interesting fight.
And if he would have had the 2 gems, I don't think it's not even a match. In my
Really?
opinion, I don't think Hela is.
If
Not
he fought
against.
her, because go ahead.
But then she's
Sure.
able to recognize their power too. She's no dummy. She knows of the power.
Agreed.
But she's also in her realm, so her realm gives her power.
Yeah, if
So,
if they're on
Asgard,
Asgard, yes. Then
You know
she's the most powerful on Asgard, but off of Asgard.
I mean, they mostly emphasize that in Ragnarok that the source of her power is Asgard.
Right.
So let us know what you guys
Well-
think. Like, we should definitely turn it to the fans. If you guys feel like Hela would win, let us know. Let me know at YFR Mayhem on Twitter, or even let us know in the comments, definitely. Or you think Thanos would definitely wreck her? Because I think maybe Thanos would either lure her out or destroy Asgard. He did have 2 gems.
or take her out on a date. Let's go with
Yeah.
that one.
She did.
She is. Yeah.
I think the only way that Thanos could defeat Hela is as if like he lured her out of Asgard.
Yeah.
And that way she'd be weak,
That-
vulnerable, and then boom, strike.
That would take his, the
Agreed.
fact of him, his
Agreed.
strategic
Mhm.
side.
I think otherwise, but go ahead.
Well, everybody seems to have liked the trailers for Ragnarok, and I feel like I was the only person to absolutely hate the trailers for
Really?
Ragnarok.
Why, you think it gave too much?
Not that it gave too much. I was like, "What the hell am I looking at here? This is not Thor.
It's not Thor,
this
but it's
is-
definitely not Dark World either.
Listen,
I
Yeah,
agree.
there you
but
go.
I just have one thing to say.
yes,
Tessa Thompson.
Oh
my
Tessa.
god!
Tessa.
Oh my god!
We'll talk about Tessa, but we come back to
Yes.
trailers.
So-
I got a theory for you for trailers that you'll like.
I did not like the trailer for Thor. I didn't like any of the trailers for Thor. When I went to go see the movie on opening night, I was surprised, and I absolutely loved the movie, beginning to end. Beginning to end, absolutely loved the movie. There was absolutely not one part of the movie that I can honestly say that I know the part where he screamed when he saw the Grandmaster. That was about it.
Okay.
But that's about it. Other than that, the movie was great.
I think Marvel now, if you pay attention to the trailers, look at Thor Ragnarok. When they show him coming onto the Rainbow Bridge, he had both eyes.
Right.
But when they did that scene, he was missing an eye. If you look at Avengers, they showed Hulk running with the Avengers,
with everyone,
but they replaced that.
Yep.
Marvel's trailers, if you look at their marketing, they're throwing people off
Yep.
and saving the actual
We were actually
scenes for the
discussing
movie.
that. Remember
On
last
the
time?
first episode.
Yeah, we were discussing that. How like I'm never gonna trust any Marvel trailer again because it's like to me, you know what? They got the upper hand. That's actually really good strategy. It throws everyone off because like if I can remember correctly, they came out with a pop Funko of Hulk busting out of the Hulkbuster, and I remember reading somewhere that was supposed to happen in the movie, but I guess because word got out or like internet leaks and whatnot, I guess they decided to scrap that, but yet still keep the toy intact.
Right.
You know?
Well, there were also
It's
multiple
a
scripts
Yeah,
for the
multiple
movie
scripts.
too.
Hey, listen, it's a selling thing. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I agree. I love this. I love this direction because I hate when movies like, hey, this was gonna happen and it doesn't. Once again, I'll reference my X-Men movie, X-Men 2, which is one of my favorite movies, in which they had Nightcrawler do an extra scene. And I was like, where is it? Where is it? It didn't show up, and I bought the DVD. But I'll say this. Thor Ragnarok was possibly... No, it is the best Thor movie.
Yeah,
it is.
It
Hands
is the
down.
best movie.
Yeah.
And you know what? Shout out to Jeff Goldblum, aka The Fly.
No, you gotta call him the doctor from Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
That's what you got.
Dr. Malcolm.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then he's got another guy that was in Jurassic Park that was with him too. The guy.
Oh, Sam Neill.
Yeah, Sam Neill.
there was
Sam
like a
Neill.
little like Jurassic
Sam
Park
Neill.
reunion, even though they didn't meet,
Right.
but there was like a minor Jurassic Park
Yep.
reunion there.
Right. So, shout out to them. That was really dope. Tessa was great. I think one of my favorite, because we're gonna talk about growth. One of my favorite scenes is when they're in the Coliseum fighting. And he's like, yes, I know this guy. Had a really
He's a
bad
friend
day.
from work.
And then afterwards, right? He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I won. Hulk is like raging fire. This is like that. Those little things make the movie great.
Yeah.
But in this movie, let's talk about the growth. I think this is possibly the biggest jump of growth for him.
Yeah.
Because, to be fair, Thor hasn't lost in the MCU universe as much as he did in this movie. He lost the battle. Okay, fine. But then he lost his quote-unquote power, his hammer. Right in the beginning, too. Loses an eye. He's a slave, in a sense, for a championship. And it's just like little
Loses
things.
his father.
Yeah, he lost his father, too. So it's just
Planet.
like... And then even while trying to escape, he's still battling his brother, who's who's trying to, betray him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to go fight Hela all over again.
You know who I want to see more of? I want more Korg. Give me more Korg.
I hope
Hell
so.
yeah.
I wanna
Give me
get
more Korg.
And that was the director doing like the motion caption and the voice and everything. That was all him.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Until I think.
But
somebody
you know
told me
what?
that.
When you get the chance, if you have like the Blu-ray, listen to the director's commentary for Ragnarok. It is like 5 times hysterical as the movie itself.
Got to.
Okay.
Yeah, like he even does it like his own little intro to like the opening credits of the Marvel thing. He's like, whatever Marvel, Asgard, whatever.
I think this was a great movie because this is what all Thor fans wanted.
Yeah.
It's development and a character. You actually see him struggle because, yes, Thor is kind of like that stubborn fighter. You see him kind of go into the rage, which I said on the podcast, check out Last Stop on L. If they ever come out with a solo Storm movie, I'm just excited off the graphics alone.
Yes.
Because when he activated his rage, bruh, like that was dope. That was dope. At least for me it was. I was in the movie theater like, holy crap,
When he was on the Rainbow Bridge, you're talking about when he was
on the Rainbow Bridge as well as the Coliseum.
Yes.
Remember?
The Bifrost.
on the Bifrost.
Bifrost. So then it's just
Rainbow
like
Bridge.
all this development.
That's Mario Kart.
Bagger swinging the hammer.
Oh wait, can we?
Well,
side
Mario
note?
does have a hammer.
Yes, he does. And knows
Peach
some
knows a
games.
lot about that hammer.
Hey. I was actually in Canada. I actually went on a race on the Mario Kart.
How was that?
It was pretty dope. I may upload the photo.
Nice.
I definitely sped through that thing. Like,
Did you throw a turtle shell?
they don't give you it. They don't give you that stuff.
But you can throw down a banana peel, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like in my mind throughout the whole race, it was like dun, 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 dun. I don't care. But anyway, I think once again, this was like the greatest movie for Thor because not only did it leave you wanting more, and we totally missed out on Avengers too. We're gonna get to that, but it's just like so much development that was key. Because right now, at this point, you saw Thor and he was just like this movie fodder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But also too, if you think about its rules of three right now with Marvel, because obviously we were talking about it earlier. They kind of like, you know, in a way they dropped the ball of Iron Man 3, and I think they learned from that. Whereas if you look at Captain America 3: Civil War, if you look at now the third Avengers movie, and now you lump up Thor with that, it's like, okay, they've really found a footing with how to deliver these characters to the public, not just for the fans, but also for the casual fans and people that they want to bring on, because there's a reason why these movies are doing good.
And they listen.
Mm-hmm.
Most importantly, they listen. I hate to say it, WB, but they listen. You know, Marvel listens to the fans.
Ooh.
I think DC listens too much sometimes.
I don't think DC listens at all. They listen to
too
their
much
wallet.
their competition.
They listen to
I'm
their wallet.
I'm sorry, WB listens too much to their competition when they should be focusing on themselves.
I would say that just to sidetrack for a second here. After Batman versus Superman, everybody complained it was too dark. And Justice League, they decided to make it extremely light,
Campy.
Too campy. It's like they're trying to please everybody, and they lost their footing. And
They never found their footing since day one. I mean, if there are a bunch of theories we can go with
Man of
that
Steel
one.
was good.
Barely.
Hold on.
Barely.
We're gonna come back to that.
Barely.
We'll come back. We'll come back.
DC's anger translator, Brooklyn Boy T. You guys need to understand. Anyway, Age of Ultron. Let's talk about Thor really quickly.
Age of Ultron. I think he's still trying to find his place in the world. Like he's still like has that god mentality, you know, as opposed to Ragnarok, where even though he's a god or his character is a god, but he was human.
Yes.
He was human. He was emotional. He was funny. He was sarcastic.
Yep.
You know, definitely a huge jump from Dark World. And on top of that, from what I was reading, Hemsworth was like kind of like bored with the character because he felt like there was nothing much he could do with Thor until the director came on board and was like, you know what, this is how I want to do it. You know, like he was aware of what went down with Dark World, so he wanted to give it some light a bit, you know, some
new life,
but not too much. But overall, like, you know, we got the final product that was Ragnarok.
Yeah. What you think about Thor's nightmare, Brooklyn T? That scene where he was
nightmare when he saw the gems.
Yes.
I think he shit his pants.
It was it was a weird scene.
Asgardian poop.
I did it because so the mind. So he got that vision from the Mind Stone in a sense.
Right.
So was he seeing the future or was he seeing his fear?
Well, that could be debated because I kind of felt like they didn't really fully address that in the movies to come per se. They just said
you saw the outline of the hammer though,
right?
And then, but that was just for Thor. And then if you go to Cap and
he's still fighting a battle of like pretty much not being needed.
Right.
Yeah,
so I just didn't understand exactly what his vision was supposed to be about. If it was the immediate future, if it was the immediate danger, or if it was.
I think it was supposed to be about Ragnarok for Asgard because it's like I have to leave and go back to Asgard because it was about.
He didn't go back to Asgard.
No, he didn't go back to Asgard because he was still helping them on Earth. But yeah, that whole scene I think was thrown in there to try to let us know what's going to happen with the next movie.
Okay.
Okay.
And plus, remember, Odin was no longer on Asgard at the end of Dark World.
Yes,
You know,
right.
Loki took over, and so when that happened, that means all the realms went into chaos.
Mm.
Even though Loki would disagree.
Shout out to Matt Damon for that performance. Anyway, all right, let's talk about Hulk.
Ooh, the man with the trilogy right now.
Okay, first of all, the first Hulk
The
movie
Incredible
was
Hulk.
so
Bad.
much trash.
Bad.
Which Hulk movie are we talking about?
Bad.
Are we talking about Eric Bana? Because that one doesn't exist in the Marvel Universe.
Really?
Wait,
Yeah,
there
it
was a
doesn't.
Hulk movie starring Eric
No, the one with Edward Norton.
Which was dope.
Yes.
But he's such a hard. Oh my god. You know.
Okay.
Whatever. He's such a hard.
but
person
that
to
actually
work with.
exists in the Marvel universe.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
They reference that.
Correct.
They reference that.
they-
Even the
and they
characters.
also,
the
what was
characters.
it?
But
What's
they
his
have
face?
to,
General
though, 'cause
Ross.
It's like,
Yeah.
or else they had to start from scratch. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, if Edward Norton is a hard person to work with, whatever, you know, it is what it is.
but he did a great job.
But he did do a great job, as you know. And what I like the most about this particular Hulk movie is that it references the 1970s TV show.
Yes, it
I mean,
did.
even the intro
Yes, it
was a
did.
nod to the TV show, you know. And you know, lots of credit to Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno for bringing those characters to life.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Okay, so we're totally skipping over the first Hulk movie because it's non-canon pretty much. It sucked. It was too big. We're moving forward. Correct?
From what I understand,
It's not. Yeah, it
that
doesn't
movie-
exist at all.
I agree. It doesn't exist.
Okay, so the second movie, what I loved about this is Hulk can stand alone in its own movie with an actor like Edward Norton and a script that he was given because it shows a little bit more depth.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Throughout the whole movie, he's trying not to get angry. He's trying not to get angry. And then at the end, he finds peace.
Does he really?
Which
Because
which led into Mark Ruffalo
Mhm.
because that's essentially where they're continuing from, because he's going around like South America or something like that. I think that's what they found out.
Always angry. Oh, I'm sorry.
He learned to live with it.
Right. So then that's growth. Go ahead.
You see, but at the same time, at the end of Incredible Hulk, or was it the Hulk? Okay, whatever the name was.
It's Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk. At the end of that, he seems to have everything under control. He seems to be able to transform into Hulk at whim. So when he appears in Avengers, it's almost like his character, as far as development, took a step back.
In Avengers, in Avengers, it's really weird because it's like, yeah, they show him go into that Hulk mode, like he lost it on the ship.
Right.
I think that was all an act on his part to try to get the hell out of there. Because remember when he fell to the ground and they were in the city, and Cap is looking at him when they finally see him, and like, what are you gonna do, man? It's like, Banner, you're gonna turn to Hulk. It's like that's the secret. I'm always angry. So
Right.
he was already in control.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact when he lost control, he really didn't lose control.
Are you talking about the one in the helicarrier?
In the helicarrier, I think that was
What-
all planned by him. But also, too, think about it. Loki also was a part of that too,
Yeah.
because Loki already knew about the Hulk because
Mhm.
it's similar in the comics. Again, when he made the Hulk rampage.
Right.
So, again, you
that
guys-
is correct.
But my whole thing is, I feel like he was kind of like under the influence of a certain stone, of certain tesseract.
Yeah.
Oh, the Mind Stone was there. That's the staff.
Again,
Yeah.
Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the,
completely forgot about that.
Loki.
I mean, he even grabbed the staff at some point
Right.
when they were debating.
Yes,
you know,
he
when they were
did.
there, when they were all
You're
arguing.
like, put the staff down.
yeah, exactly.
grabbing staff.
But you can tell, like, he was still like sort of, like his character wasn't like it's definitely different from Edward Norton's portrayal.
Oh yeah,
you
it's
know?
gonna.
And
I don't know. You know what? I'm sorry to cut you off, man. I think I enjoy Edward Norton's portrayal a lot better. And it's not because to say Mark isn't a bad actor. He's actually pretty dope. I just don't think they're giving him enough lines. I don't think they're giving him enough interaction. It's just like, I'm trying to stay calm. I'm angry. Trying to stay calm.
Which, if you look at it, it's tough though because they can't get Mark Ruffalo to start. Okay, you guys had to see that. I wish we had that on tape.
Oh,
Man, Mike posing. No, but if you really think about it, Edward Norton's probably always going to shine for above Mark Ruffalo because he had his own movie.
Yes.
Mark Ruffalo has it. He's always had to do the Hulk in this shared space,
Yeah.
and because that's the technical way that they
he's
can do
the
it.
supporting character.
Fair
To
enough.
the Hulk,
and
yes.
that's key. I want to use that. He's
Yeah.
a supporting character. Here's the crazy thing. People will always battle who's a better Joker. Was it, Jack Nicholson, or was it your favorite,
Cesar Romero.
I hate you, or Heath Ledger,
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill, for
That's
sure.
a good
voice,
one.
Voice
That's a good
acting,
one.
for sure.
That's a good
live
one.
action. Now I'm going to say live action since that happened. I say Heath Ledger because, sure, you can say he learned from Jack Nicholson as maybe Mark should have learned from Ed, but he surpassed Jack, if you ask me, because you forget that movie's about Batman.
Mm-hmm.
You totally forget about Batman. I mean, granted, he shared enough space time, and they definitely stopped that from Killmonger from happening in Black Panther as well. But it's just like he grabbed you, and he's like, "Oh yeah, your attention's waiting. Come here, come here, come here." I mean, there's so many things we can go over. But anyway,
Going
He
over
filmed
Legend,
those
you
two
can't.
scenes, too.
Yeah, He
was a Ledger.
The greatest thing
That's
about
the part.
Ledger, that why he surpassed Nicholson's Joker, is because Ledger studied the character.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was stuff that he took from the old comics when he was like, he used to announce on the radio when he killed people. They did it with the video with today's technology and all that, which again was paying a close attention to Joker.
I mean,
he even asked Jack Nicholson to leave set. He was like, "Listen, I got this. I'm gonna play it my way," and asked him to leave.
I know he did so much research and he did his own cameras, videos that they kept in the movie. That's dope. As far as Mark, I feel like Mark should have done that, but then also too, maybe Mark did, but they just gave him a script that he couldn't necessarily, wiggle out of.
Yeah, it's always going to be tough for Mark
And he's
because
always giving out secrets, so they're not going to really support him.
And
like
plus,
that.
you can't really like toss anything to an actor. I mean, the actor has to like feel the script. They have to at least
You mean
want
the
to.
numerous amount of scripts they have.
Yes, exactly.
but it's always going to be tough for Mark. I feel like only way that he would probably outshine, like I feel like he has outshined Norton just for the simple fact that we get him interacting with the characters. But if we're gonna go about that route, they're hard to compare because again, Norton had his solo movie to star as the Hulk. Mark has it.
I mean,
Until we get that, then you can compare. Really,
I mean, regardless of the actor switch, what I liked about Avengers is the scene where he's talking about, and it's a deleted scene too from Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, where he talks about how he tried to commit suicide, put the gun in his mouth, and the other guy spit it out.
Yeah.
So I love the continuity that they kept, even though they switched actors. But I love the continuity that they kept with the MCU.
Agreed.
Okay. Go ahead.
My only issue with this comes a little bit later when we're talking about Infinity War. I didn't like the way he acted in Infinity War. I didn't like it. I didn't like the whole character, the David Banner character. Not even a little bit.
Porque. Why?
He just didn't seem. It was just nothing. He carried over nothing from the previous films.
What do you mean?
As far as he was too jokey, when Thor comes up, he's like, it just didn't seem. It just didn't seem like it was the same character.
I don't want to fight your sister. That's a family thing. I'm not doing it.
But in Ragnarok, it worked.
Right.
In Ragnarok, it worked because it was. I feel like he wasn't doing it on purpose, whereas it seemed on purpose in Infinity War.
So, if I were to take a stab at it, I think in Ragnarok, he was at peace.
yeah.
He was at peace. Remember, he was Hulk for how long?
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so inside, he was at peace. He was still trying to grab what's going on, but he likes fight. I think Bruce Banner, his anger, he likes venting his anger in the other guy, and him being on. I keep saying Battle World in my head, and I know that's not correct. But
Sakaar.
Where's Battle World for? Oh my God, I'm gonna get. So anyway,
That's a whole different series.
I know. So, so on Sakaar, he's like. The Hulk is technically at peace. He's being fed. He's held as a champion. They love him. He beats up things when he wants.
Right.
And you know what? He doesn't have to worry about people prodding and trying to come after him. He doesn't have to spend his whole life looking over. And if you want to be real technically deep, like go a little further than that, I think that was a farce. I think Bruce knew he was the Hulk for that long. He's just like, you know what? Oh, yeah. Now I'm out. He's just playing along with it.
But also, too, Bruce Banner is a mental character if you really think about it, how it affects his mentals.
Yes.
Like, one is this. It's like, if you've read some of the comics with, when he was Hulk, like after World War Hulk, when they had World War Hulks, Banner was just probably, even when he couldn't turn into the Hulk at that point, he showed how smart he was.
Yeah.
Especially but also, too, like, when you compare it in the movies, think about it, like you said, he was locked in the Hulk for a while.
Yes.
So maybe this could be affecting his mentals in a way. And again, he's going through a transformation.
Agreed. Okay. Yeah.
And then while he's going through this transformation,
I like that.
Infinity War happens, and
Yeah.
he gets his ass beat. And then let me tell you something. In all the movies that have featured Hulk, he has never really been beaten as bad as this.
And
Maybe stalemate if you want to call it that. Maybe. It's
Right.
really not. But, he just tires himself out. He hasn't even fought the Sentry yet. We'll more into that, spoilers. But here it is. He gets really, dominated to a point where he's afraid to come out and help.
and he didn't say Martha.
He got the Tobey Maguire syndrome, where in Spider-Man 2, where he was uncertain of himself for being Spider-Man and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's
We
what
don't-
it was.
we
That
don't
makes
talk about-
no sense.
We don't talk about emo Spider-Man.
No, that's part 3.
That's 3. That's 3.
I don't get.
That was three. That's-
It
it kind of carries over if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't do any of his powers because of whatever. Anyway, I'm not gonna go.
But another interesting thing, and I want to touch upon this because of the leaked photos about the possibility of Smart Hulk coming out. if you remember when the original Smart Hulk, when they had him, whenever he reverted back to Banner, Banner was savage. So maybe that's something that they could be crossing over with the characters for that whole switch to Smart Hulk.
They got a lot of ways they can go. Let's
Banner's just a funny
really
character.
Quickly, they have so many ways to go. I just want to know how it ends. Because will they have to... Here's how I think it's going to end. So,
It's going to be in Denny's.
In Denny's. I think it's going to end where everybody is reverted back to a certain point, but it's all kept relevant in a sense, but you kind of go back. And then if we win the rights, purposely, they'll introduce the X-Men and the Fantastic Four as well into the world.
Yeah,
I'm scratching my head. I got a lot of theories, but it's about talking about Ant-Man. But I'm gonna let you guys go.
I hate you.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I agree.
We can't talk about Ant-Man.
We can't talk about it though.
But just know that the ending. First of all, if you haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, go see it. It is by far the best Ant-Man movie. Not to say that the first one was whack in any way, shape, or form. It was really good, but this one was even better. Nothing gets old. I really think they paid a homage to Deadpool in that car scene with the Wasp. Watch it. I know you're gonna watch it. And then the ending, the after scene, after the end, it's just like. But then it's also key because then he.
It's not even that. Let's just put it this way. I'm gonna say this right now. Each and every Marvel movie leaves, like we talked about this earlier, breadcrumbs. There is a breadcrumb left in that movie. It's a nice big breadcrumb, and it's similar to like a breadcrumb that was left in the Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh. All right, so I don't think there's really much growth within the Hulk except for him coming to terms of being angry all the time and knowing the power he possesses. Honestly, at the moment in MCU, he's known peace, and he's back at a point where he's like, I'm back here again. I'm in unfamiliar territory. And then he also got his butt whipped, so he has doubts. I'm looking forward for the next film to see maybe
Grey Hulk.
Maybe.
Ooh, that's fun.
There's so many routes they can go, but maybe a solo movie for Hulk after Avengers.
You hear Universal?
That's if Universal wants to play.
Yes.
Here's a question: in Ragnarok, when Banner jumped out of the plane to try to transform, pretty much the funniest part of the movie, and one of the funniest parts of the movie. Do you think that carries over to why he couldn't transform?
I think that's like the start.
Was that the start of it?
Because again,
I think that because that should have been automatic. You know, I mean, if you can easily change into the Hulk in the first Avenger, why not this one?
But that goes back to the first Incredible Hulk movie when he fell out the plane. He was trying to transform and he didn't either.
But that's because he had that serum still in him. If you think about it,
that's right.
He had that.
That's right.
That whatever.
He was still drugged.
Yeah,
so
still drugged.
So bringing that up, I think you brought up something that's pretty dope. I think Hulk would have came out easier if this was a battle he wanted to fight. I'm going to say Battle World, but we all know Sakaar.
Right.
On Battle World, Sakaar, he wanted to fight those battles.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was just having fun in a sense. He was just doing what he does. Whereas now he's being thrusted into a fight that he didn't necessarily want to be in.
Right. And early on in that movie, he was even a Hulk. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I'm good here.
Yeah.
Leave me here.
and then he got two-pieced.
Yeah.
Later on.
Yeah.
Also, Tessa Thompson was sparring with the Hulk. Bruh,
Do you not know how strong Valkyrie is?
I'm just saying, no. I'm just
Do you need to be educated on the Valkyrie?
I mean, she still got her butt whipped with Hela and everything, but I'm just saying.
But this is Hela we're talking about. Come on.
Oh, okay, it's Hela. All right. All right. So overall, I think these were some really good character developments for Thor in Ragnarok and for Hulk Ragnarok as well. I'm looking forward to seeing some more character development, maybe a solo Hulk movie.
Yes.
Holo movie. I'm pointing at a
Holo.
We're gonna get Deadpool porn before we even get that. Wait, we already have that. Oh my god.
We definitely do.
I mean, last thoughts. Dorko, lead us away.
I don't know.
All right, so I just want to say one thing real quick. Do you think we'll get Hulk in another Hulkbuster suit ever again?
Yes. I think we're going to see it one more time.
Really?
And I think we're going to see it in whatever that first fight scene is. In
And you think he's going to bust
Avengers.
out of it?
I don't know if he's going to bust out of it, but whatever that first fight scene is in Avengers 4,
It has to be-
he will lose.
It has to be a big scene.
It will be a big scene. I think he's going to lose. Maybe it could even be against another Avenger. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever it is, he's going to lose. And then that's when he's going to turn There's going to be an internal conflict, and then he'll eventually transform.
There was a concept art. I don't know if you guys saw it, but like the Hulk is wearing a suit
Yeah,
for the Avengers 4.
like the Smart Hulk.
Is that what he
right.
wears?
That's what. Yeah, that's what the whole thing was.
Like
A whole
skin
league
tight,
of
it's
him.
like a skin tight, almost like a
It's
Fantastic
like a
Four
purple
type.
suit.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. I'm really looking forward for more Iron Man suits. Like if he ever gets the symbiote suit for Iron Man, I would die. I would die of geekum. I will die.
We just need to know Venom is actually going to tie in, which Sony says no, but we don't know because they like to throw curveballs.
I have a... Okay.
I'm going to let you speak, but that movie looks like it's trash. I'm sorry.
What are you talking about?
Hold on, let me drop my mic. Drop.
We dropped Mike on his head.
I love Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy, Leonardo DiCaprio, even Will Smith because of their their work ethic. Let me just say that, right?
Mr. Bane himself.
Right. Oh my God. Oh
Venom?
my God. I always give you couldn't see his face, but you understand the
knew it.
greatness that he was. Anyway, you can see his eyes.
Because I was groomed in the greatness.
There you go.
Never have I seen much acting in facial expressions.
That's right.
Right. Unless it's like animated. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So with that being said, if they take it a different route, I'm all for it because it's something new. I don't mind exploring new things. Like when they gave Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, webs from his wrist versus the actual the damn
Web
wrist
shooters.
bracelets.
Yeah. Web
What
shooters.
bracelets?
The
Web
Whatever.
shooters.
The wrist shooters, whatever.
Mechanical bracelets.
The mechanical bracelets. I was with it. Because it makes sense. You get all the powers of the spider, including this spider sense, supposedly. Why not do it? Why not try something
But
new?
wouldn't people notice the hole in his arm to shoot the web swingers?
It looked like, remember, it split apart. It split apart. That's what it was.
That was weird.
It was just sweat.
Yeah.
That's it. He was just shooting sweat.
Anyway, also, can we talk about how, when we do Spider-Man, because I want to definitely talk about how his mom walked in on him. And
What the
yeah, exactly.
His
and they never
aunt.
addressed that.
His aunt.
It's his mom.
straight. His
it's
aunt.
his mom.
His sexy aunt.
His sexy aunt mom. Anyway,
Iron
Unattractively,
Man's banging.
unusually.
Venom does not look promising. I don't like any of the trailers. I'm pulling a U on Thor Ragnarok. I don't like any of the trailers. I'm hopeful for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm hopeful for it, just like I was hopeful for Batfleck. You know what I'm saying? But we're not going into that because not yet. But you know what it's like? It's like a pizza in the window, but it doesn't smell good, and the box looks bad, and just the formation of the pizza, like, I don't know. I
told
know.
you stop eating Papa John's.
First of all,
Well, I mean, they made it official. They said that the Venom movie is not part of the MCU.
Correct.
I
They
think
did
they
say
wanna
that.
see how it
no,
goes.
no Tom Holland cameo, which is what was the word going around.
Okay, but at the same time with that, it's Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. He's off-world. Well, not off-world. I'm sorry. He is in...
Dead?
Not dead, but...
Dust?
He'll be in London
okay.
on a field trip. At the same time going on is Venom in California.
Pre-Infinity War.
I just want to say it doesn't look promising.
I think they want to see how it works before they're like, okay,
They wanna
nope,
test
it's
the
official
waters.
canon.
Agreed.
Listen,
If it does work...
we all love Venom. Let's be real. We love Venom. You put Tom Hardy behind Venom, and it's like, whoa. Those trailers do nothing for me. Okay, nothing. Like dry spell, nothing.
It's early.
Okay.
He's saying it's like dry humping, but without the satisfaction.
Oh man, there's not even music. Can I get something? Do you believe? Okay.
No,
Go ahead.
no, I don't know. I'm looking at Venom. I'm not expecting a lot. It's gonna be his first time around, but it already looks better than the Venom from Spider-Man 3.
Preach.
I'll give you that. So far.
I mean, it's still too early. I mean,
Yeah.
they only have one trailer, right?
Yeah.
They don't have any other footage leaked online.
I
and
think
all that
I think
stuff?
something's gonna happen this weekend.
It might.
Comic-Con
It might.
weekend,
Yep,
San
it is,
Diego.
you know, I mean, like it's so far it's DC dominated, but I'm pretty sure Marvel will make a surprise.
Well, it's gonna
here
be
and there.
Sony. Because
Sony.
Marvel's gonna be pulling out
Yeah, I think
Okay.
they pulled out.
Tom
already.
Hardy,
the
if you're listening,
the Disney convention.
I still love you, bro. I still love you, Tom Hardy.
The Mad Max.
No matter what you do. Yeah, I'll give him that too. I still love you. Good luck with this movie.
I do believe
May
that
the odds forever be in your favor.
Mhm.
if this movie does do good, I think that may be the end of Spider-Man in the MCU.
Really?
Yeah,
Nah.
I think
Tom Holland's too hot. You're trying to...
exactly. Tom Holland is too hot.
Uh-huh.
Tom Holland is with Sony. He's not with Marvel.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
But Marvel technically saved them because where was the Spider-Man franchise going?
It was going okay.
It was going garbage.
I think
You're lying to yourself at this point.
it was.
Man,
First of
Spider-Man
all,
2
man.
was horrible.
I wanted to wait until we actually talked about the development of growth, but Tom Holland as Spider-Man is the Spider-Man.
Yes.
He is. Thank Toby for like setting us there. Thank the other kid,
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield.
He did his thing, too. I only like the first movie, honestly, from him because this sounds really bad.
With the lizard?
Yes.
Okay.
With Betty because Betty dies at the end. The way she died, like
Betty.
if I was falling.
Gwen.
Gwen.
Oh
You're
my
confusing
God.
I'm
confusing everything today. Martha. Anyway, reset. No. So like with Gwen, like the way, I was falling asleep and it's like, oh snap, she died. I forgot about this.
Yeah.
You know. So like he tried his best, but Tom did. He's like emotionally Spider-Man. Oh my God, they're not ending him. He's too much of a money profit for them. If they end him, they need to throw the whole studios away.
And that's why I'm saying, I think if they do decide to pull out, because their deal is over after Spider-Man 2,
Yeah.
I do think that if they're able to
Homecoming
pull off,
2. Homecoming
yes,
2? Yeah,
sorry,
okay.
Homecoming 2, Far From Home.
Far From Home,
If
yeah.
they do pull off a string of successful movies,
Mm-hmm.
the Morbius movie, Venom, Black and Silver, I think they may end up saying we're gonna pull Spider-Man and connect everything.
But I got this about the Sony theory. I could probably see that happening, but at the same time, I can't. Only because if you look at what they tried to do before, when they had Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, they wanted to make all these extra movies to build a franchise around Spider-Man. When Spider-Man 2 came out, all the focus was around all the villains in the movie that we barely got,
Yep.
and
Oh
then
my
you
God,
barely
that
got
was
the
so
story.
Sinister Six.
They wanted to do an Aunt May movie. I'm not sure. I remember that they were like, that wasn't the Sony hacks, but I think in a way Sony needs Marvel just as Marvel in a way needs them, because they, Kevin Feige wants to play with all the characters.
Oh,
Shout out to Kevin.
Yeah. Sony, the reason I say they need them is because, first of all, they can make it off like a bandit with merchandising, because that's shared merchandising rights, because that's something that they were losing out on, definitely. Second, any help that they need with the character, listen, it's already shown that the Marvel characters work better not only in their solo movies, but fans crave those interactions. Marvel has shown that, and especially with Spider-Man, when they introduced him in Civil War, look how his character, just that movie alone, how they just launched Spider-Man from when he was down here, like with Andrew Garfield, and nothing against Andrew Garfield because you were given a bad script, brother.
Yeah.
Tom Holland, Spider-Man shined, and then he shined even more when it came to Homecoming, when you had that father-son interaction with him and Tony Stark. So I feel, again, think about it. You have Silver Sable coming out. You have Black Cat. How would these characters also interact with the street team that Marvel has?
I feel like they're not going to put Spider-Man on hold, per se. They may release, like, a Spider-Man movie, I want to say a year to maybe 16 months.
Right.
Every 16 months while they're launching,
the
Silver Sable. Because that's who you associate generally those characters. Not to say they weren't already by themselves.
Yeah.
But, you associate
Those are
them-
Spider-Man characters. That's like saying you're going to do a Nightwing movie without doing Batman first.
Right.
It makes no sense.
Right, and we all love the Fox 5, Saturday Spider-Man show, and that helped a lot of people be not only to X-Men but Spider-Man be introduced and kind of like, oh snap, this is what's going on with Spider-Man.
Right.
So I don't think they're gonna post it, man. If they do Venom, they might. Maybe.
How could you have Venom without that's?
Easy.
I'm more so
Easy. It's a different universe. Boom. It's
Well,
totally something new.
Well, it's not even that it's a different universe. I mean, even though they confirmed it's not a part of the MCU, I
Yes.
think, as we agreed earlier, I think they're just testing the waters. And then if successful, if they come out with another Venom movie, I think they might put in some references or breadcrumbs, to include it in the MCU.
Also, too, it's like this. Like I said, again, going back, piggybacking off what you said with that, they're doing Venom. Doctor Strange has already introduced the fact of the multiverse.
Yep.
And with doing Venom, it's kind of smart to make it seem like its own character because you're not in the shadow of Spider-Man right now. Because, again, they dropped that whole ball when they did it in Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, the whole suit, because you would have to now introduce the suit with Tom Holland. But doing this whole thing, you're kind of skipping that and making Venom his own character, which in a way, it's smart. Gives them way to grow the character.
Yeah.
And Sony made the smartest deal when they were like, you know what? We're going to work with Marvel, with Spider-Man, because, again, without that benchmark, I mean, everybody would have still had that bad taste in their mouth after that Spider-Man, because remember, they were also supposed to come out with the Sinister Six movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And they were like, yeah, no, fans don't want to see that. So it's, I want to see it. I want to see the crossovers, and also too with the potential of Disney buying Fox, because again, that's still up in the air.
I thought they bought it already.
It's still waiting to be approved.
Because like I know there was another competing Comcast. I think it was.
They made a better offer than Comcast. They might Fox might take the deal. It's something about some board member doesn't want them to do it and is trying to get other board members. Yeah, they filed a lawsuit
against the head of Fox claiming
it's somewhat ridiculous to them. It's about money, but it's like this. It's like the minute that the Disney gets all that is still going to be more money made, because first of all, you have the Marvel engine. Mm-hmm. Then you have the Disney engine with all the stuff that they're doing with Lucasfilms and all that.
Well, I just think with Venom, I mean, if they can pull out the prequel, card with Spider-Man Far From Home, pre-Infinity War, who's to say they can't do the same thing with Venom? I mean, yeah, sure. We're looking at Brock, given that Venom intro, but who's to say that, at some point, while that's happening, who's to say that Tom Holland isn't experiencing his own symbiote, scenario?
Agreed. Yeah.
Okay. No, I agree. All right. I mean, you guys left me stumped. You guys seem to know what you're talking about.
You're quiet for... Oh, my God. No. Mike. Mayhem. Get on there.
I'm just going to say...
As he fades to dust.
Venom is not Martha.
Mike, you don't feel so good.
I don't want to die.
No, it's just Taco Tuesdays.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I think safe to say we can wrap this up.
Yeah.
I mean, we spoke about everything that we needed to. Thor, Hulk, anything else that we want to put on the table?
Not at this point, man. This was a good discussion, guys.
I mean,
this is a lot of fun.
Join us next time for when we talk about my favorite person. I'm not going to say it. Stay tuned, because what we're going to talk about is DC. And I know my boy Brooklyn Boy T is ready to go down swinging.
I'm ready to go down. I got my gloves.
He's dressed as Little Mac right now. You should see it. He's ready. He's been training in the corner. He's about to do the 1-2.
Just like Superman went down swinging in a horrible movie. Which movie? All of them except Man of Steel. Oh! Till next time, folks.
Brooklyn Boy T.
Dorko Manhattan. I'm not really here. I'm back on Mars. I'm just a hologram.
This is Sebastian Bonet, aka member of the Artist Club.
It's that guy, Mayhem Mike. You know where to find me. No, you don't. Can I just say one thing? Wait. Mjolnir for men. Hey guys, thanks for listening to this episode of Hierogeekicks, the show for all things geek. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe below so we can have more discussions for you. Don't forget to visit our channel, Geeks Unlimited, and even our sibling channel, The Nerds of the Round, on YouTube. Links are in the description below, and until next time, guys, stay geeky.